So there's this video that happens every single day that nobody records. It plays out over and over in our lives, in our heads, but it never gets posted anywhere. And this morning I woke up thinking about a video I shared recently that really connected with people. It was the one where I said, when you're finally honest about where you really are, sometimes life doesn't get lighter, sometimes it gets heavier. A lot of people asked what I was being honest about. The catch is the truth. It's not just one thing. And yet I knew what I needed to do. And again, there's numerous things. There are dozens of things every single day that I could be honest about, things I could confront, things I could grow from. And I can't believe that I'm the only one who lives with that kind of tension in their life. I know what I should do in a lot of areas of my life. For example, I know that if I got on the treadmill every day and I walked 5 miles, my health would improve. I've done it before. I know it works. I know the results. It only takes a couple days and you feel better. But there are still days when I don't. There are a lot of days when I don't. And it's obvious. And that's part of the tension. I've been disciplined in many areas of my life before. I've read a gospel a day over and over again, trying to understand the Bible more deeply. I put systems in place. I pushed myself to grow. But the truth is, discipline isn't always the problem. For me, the real struggle is consistency. I can be disciplined in moments. What's harder is showing up consistently day after day without overwhelming myself, trying to do everything perfectly and getting nothing anywhere near perfect. And sometimes I look at people who seem completely organized and put together, and it looks like their lives just run smoothly. But I don't believe anyone is completely free from struggle. Everyone has something they wrestle with when the cameras are off, and few do it when the cameras are on. But at the same time, we also have examples of incredible courage and faith. People like Dietrich Bonhoeffer, who chose to remain faithful even when it cost him everything. When I think about that kind of strength, it makes me ask hard questions about myself. Am I really as strong as I think I am? Or am I still learning what real faith and obedience looks like? Those questions create a lot of tension because, like Paul wrote in the Bible, I often find myself wanting to do what's right, but struggling to follow through the way I want to. And the more I learn, the more I realize how much I still have to grow. But there's something else I've learned along the way. Sometimes we don't realize the impact we're having on other people. There was a young man I baptized once. He actually was the first person I baptized. He was really struggling with his life. After that day, I never heard from him again, and honestly, I wondered what happened to him. Then 2 years later, his mom came up to me out of nowhere. I didn't know her. She asked, "Are you Kirk?" And I said, "Yes." And she started crying and gave me a hug. She told me her son had completely turned his life around. He moved away, found a church, started serving, and was doing well. For 2 years, I had no idea any of that had happened. The moment reminded me that sometimes the small things we can do impact someone's life in the way we may never even see. And don't get me wrong, I'm not saying I did that. That was the Holy Spirit working through me. I was just the catalyst. One of those lines from the earlier video that people really connected with was this: discipline asks for consistency, honesty asks for change. And both of those are hard. For me, discipline isn't usually the biggest struggle. Consistency is. I always thought it was discipline, but it's consistency. I spend a lot of time trying to design systems and structures to get everything right, and sometimes I end up overwhelming myself in the process. Not sometimes, more often than not. I get caught in analysis instead of action. But recently, I've been reminded of something simple. Real change doesn't happen all at once. It happens one step at a time. That's why step studies work the way they do. You don't try to solve your entire life in one day. You take one step, then another step, then another step. And that's really what this channel is about. Day to 60 isn't about building a perfect YouTube channel. It's about learning how to live life better. It's about learning new skills. It's about growing in faith. It's about becoming a better man than I was yesterday. And honestly, one of the reasons I started using a teleprompter for these videos was because I was insecure. I was worried about saying the wrong thing or losing my train of thought. But the truth is, doing these videos every day is helping me grow. It's helping me become more disciplined. It's helping me become more consistent. And it's helping me become stronger in real life because I'm still facing challenges. I always will be. I still have a lot of work to do. My life isn't perfectly put together. I'm moving forward one step at a time. And that's what honesty really requires. Not having everything figured out. Just choosing the next step instead of trying to control the outcome. So if you're wondering what I was being honest about in that earlier video, this is part of it. I don't have all the answers, but I'm willing to ask the questions. And I'm willing to keep taking the next step. And I'm doing it one day better.